So this is Katie Miller, and let me show you. This is what they were doing on New Year's Eve. Katie Miller's hanging out with Stephen Miller. There he is right there. They're partying at Trump's Mar-a-Lago. There's Kristi Noem, right, the Ice Barbie person. And basically, this is what corruption looks like. These people are partying while Americans are starving. This is Vanilla Ice and the Ninja Turtles performing at the basically ballroom at Mar-a-Lago. And Trump wants to replicate this world at the White House. That's why he's tearing down part of the White House to do that. There's Hegseth and his wife. Again, this is the New Year's party in Florida. Trump is hanging out with his lawyer who's defending him with the Epstein stuff. You can see that. And there's Barron there. I can see in the picture. You're going to have a bunch of other donors and such in the picture. This is, I guess they put up a canopy over the pool. There's Eric and Laura Trump. They're showing you their 2026 New Year's Eve party. This is the music that's greeting all the guests while Trump is cutting music education. You also have this, the ballroom, again, another picture of it. It's pretty big and a lot of people sitting around these big tables. And oftentimes they're trying to also get you to donate to the Republican campaign and such. And then there's the caviar and such. So again, this is what corruption looks like. The MAGA people act like they care about corruption, but if they did, they would actually look at all this stuff. Here's more. Let's talk about waste, fraud, and abuse. Taxpayers forked over $110.6 million for Trump's 88 golf junkets in 2025 alone, mostly to his own clubs. So basically, Trump is profiting off the presidency. So is his family. Bernie Sanders was posting this. Donald Trump's wealth has nearly tripled since he became president, largely driven by crypto ventures fueled by foreign governments. You can see a chart there on that. And we cover this stuff all the time on the channel.
These people are like, I saw something, someone's calling me like a PDF. They're saying all these crazy allegations. I'm like, hey, what sucks for them is they're never going to be able to get me. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do drugs. I'm a virgin. I don't have sex with random girls. You're not going to catch me on no sexual allegation charges. I don't have any addictions. I don't have any vices. So what are these people going to get me for? They're done. I'm religious. I believe in God. I'm everything they hate.
I love that.
So what are they going to get me for?
However, what the Trumpers are doing on New Year's Eve, this is real. This is the Nick Sorter dude. And someone writes, he spent New Year's Eve alone in a parking lot filming an entrance to a daycare. And basically you have a bunch of right-wing people basically copycatting the Shirley dude. So here's an example of that. Let me show you what's going on.
Child care center?
Why are you recording?
I'm asking a question. Is this a child care center?
Why are you recording?
Is this a child care center?
No.
It's not?
Stop recording.
It's not our child. Why can't I record?
Stop recording. You're resisting. Why are you recording?
Because I'm curious if this is a child care center.
Where are you from?
I'm from Ohio.
No. Who's into you?
Me. I'm an independent person. I own my own company.
So you are a YouTuber, so you need the social media.
I mean, I represent myself.
We have just reported you to the police, okay?
Okay, that's fine. I'm not breaking any laws.
You are resisting.
I'm not.
Huh?
I'm just asking, is this a...
You get the idea. So it says, well, that escalated quickly. Decided to drop by Somali-run childcare in Banati. That's Thomas Hearn. And you're actually going to see a bunch of this stuff. There's all these copycat people. There's another dude. What's this guy? Chris Sims. Listen to how these exchanges go.
So we don't know what you're looking for, though.
Okay, well, I'm just checking up on them.
You're a
seeing different
stranger.
ones.
You cannot come to my house.
I can ring the doorbell and say hi.
No, you cannot.
Yeah,
No,
yes.
you cannot. This is my property.
Oh, I know.
Call the police and say hi. Yes. I have a kids. I don't know. I'm not sure if you're criminal. If you're a child molester, you need to leave my door alone.
Okay, I'll leave.
The kids safety.
You ask me to leave, I'll leave.
No. You guys are
you don't
wrong.
want me to leave?
Do you know you have to go through background check in order to come to somebody's house?
No, you don't.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
you cannot. You cannot walk. You
Yes.
cannot walk in
Yes, you
a
can.
child care.
I can knock on the front door.
No, you need to leave
I
right
will
now.
leave. Thank you.
Leave.
You guys have a good...
And so I want to pose this question. How would you feel if all these people, just random strangers, start showing up to your house, knocking on your door, say, let me come in and see the children? how would you feel about that, right? Elon Musk is then promoting this kind of behavior, and I guess a lot of these crazy right-wing people are doing it. Even Ted Cruz is saying it's spreading. Take a little bit more.
We got ring. So as you can see, no one here is answering.
Right, so they
it's
go to
just
a bunch
past
of
10 minutes
places.
back. Hello? I saw you move the blinds. I'm
the
just looking
idea
for
here.
some info. Is listed as having.
And then obviously they're going to call the police, which I think a lot of people will do. So listen to this.
Within a 3 square block area as having 20 facilities operating childcare at them.
Okay.
And so far, only one of them appears to be legit.
Okay. You have a gun on you?
Oh, I don't ask questions like that.
Okay.
What's the-
Well, the issue is that now they're saying that you lifted your shirt in a way to demonstrate that you were armed. You didn't. There was no intention.
No!
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's it.
don't lie to me. You were there. There was someone back there. You was someone over here. Did you feel fear for your safety? Like what was going on?
No, I didn't feel fearful for my safety. I was just like, hey.
Right? You get the idea. And I also want to pose this question. Just have an honest discussion about this. Let's reverse it. So let's say someone who's black decides I'm just going to randomly go to white people's houses, knock on their doors and say, "Hey, can I come inside and see your children?" How would that go? How will the police treat said person? Right? What if it's someone Latino, someone Asian? I'm just an honest question, guys. How will you feel if like all these random people start showing me your house? I think definitely they're going to call the police. I think that is a pretty normal thing for people to do. It's like, dude, why are these strangers coming out? Now we're talking about, are you like threatening in some sort of way? This is the crazy, whacked out world that we're in. I also want to make it clear, guys, and I showed you the Trumpy fraud stuff. We talk about this all the time, or the Elon Musk stuff. I agree. We should all fight fraud. I totally agree. Okay? I want to make that clear. But I also think you should fund the government so you have professionals who handle this kind of stuff. And I'll repeat, I think we should fund the government so that we have actual, people who are experts in these things. They're like, do this for a living, do that. But remember Elon Musk, they want to cut all of this, regulations. They want to cut any sort of watchdogs. They want to cut your consumer protections. They want to cut like people's jobs to do this kind of stuff. So think of it this way. Here's another example. Let's just, have a honest conversation about this stuff. What if say, we got to defund the police. Let's get rid of all police officers. I hate police officers, whatever. Okay. So then I guess then we're just going to run everything by militias and, people that decide to put on whatever, costumes and decide, hey, I'm going to enforce the law in my neighborhood. Like, is that the world that we're going to? I get what the Musks and the Trumpies and stuff what they're doing. I get it. They want you to focus on this particular issue and not on something else. Because Chris is like, oh, Chris, what about all the fraud here? Guys, I'll say it really clearly, and I've said it several times on the channel. We should actually care about fraud no matter who does it, and we should look at everyone, right? But I actually want this done in proper ways. I don't just want random strangers showing up on people's doorsteps. I think that's pretty crazy in my point of view, and that's why I paint it, in a different way. Just think about it. What if some random stranger shows up at your doorstep? And I think the way that the person looks will be treated differently by the police. I understand the MAGA people won't understand anything that I'm saying. I get that, but try your best to understand how you would feel if just random people to start showing up at your house asking to see the children. This is also what's going on. I think this is a cover basically to cut funding to every state. That's what it is. So the headline then reads, HSS freezing child care payments to all states after Minnesota fraud allegations. And so this person writes, you Google a few daycare addresses and shove a camera in their faces, and the Trump admin freezes child care subsidies in all 50 states. You point out ties between Epstein, banks, and billionaires, and the Trump admin obfuscates, obstructs, and redacts all important details, right? So this is all about getting people angry about certain things and ignoring other things. This is what the Trumpers up to today. Have a watch.
We're going to auction it off, and I'll start at $100,000, okay? And honestly, just, if you want, but I actually think it's worth much more than that. And she's the hottest. How much? Who is that? Oh, Anthony. The man started off with one truck. He ended up selling his company for $4 billion. He had 5,000 trucks. How long did it take you to make $4 billion, Anthony? About 50 years? So 250,000 spirits. That's good. Anthony, we love you. How much? 300,000. Thank you very much.
And it goes on and on. And so basically that's Trump's aspiration to be like a hose person. Yeah, 2 million is peanuts, 2.5 million, whatever. This also is going on. These are the dudes that made the announcement that they're going to be freezing child care payments, right? I guess it's going to be all the states. You also have this, because I want to show you it's not just dudes. I guess you got couples doing this kind of stuff.
Okay. Okay. They want us to stop recording for. Okay, that's fine.
Price after we fill the application.
And here's the thing, right? And again, there's multiple people doing this stuff, and you want to see these people, you can. There's me, Cook, whoever these people are. But effectively, if someone shows up at your house and they got a bunch of cameras, they're clearly just doing it for a publicity stunt or whatever, right? And because the people will say, "Well, they don't give me details and stuff like that," but look at the way you're doing it. You know, do I show up and again knock on people's doors trying to film them and everything? Here's some more details. This is actually a reporter talking about some things that they have some what do you call it? Security cam footage. Watch this. This is a Lou.
Nick Shirley's viral YouTube video purporting to reveal fraud at Somali-owned daycare centers has inspired an onslaught of racist voicemails at centers across the Twin Cities, some apparent copycat door knockers, and one report of a break-in and stolen records. Let's start with that. This morning, the daycare manager showed me where they believe a burglar entered the daycare at 3 a.m. on Tuesday.
They came from the outside through this hole?
Yes.
Follow that hole, and it looks like someone cut through the cinder block wall on the outside in order to get in. The next door neighbor, Family Dollar, has cuts made to the exterior door and an apparent attempt to get in from the daycare. The daycare manager says the burglar also got into their office and stole records, including personal information of the families they serve. Minneapolis police are investigating, but they haven't made any arrests. Now to the racist voicemails. An attorney source of mine let me review more than a dozen voicemails his clients forwarded to him. Here's an edited version of just one to give you a flavor.
You fraudulent pieces of get the out of my country, because we're coming for you. You.
These are being received by Somali-owned daycares that were not highlighted in Nick Shirley's video. Now to the copycats. This video is from a different daycare, again not highlighted by Shirley, where a group of men bang on the door until the owner on the intercom tells them that she's calling police. Then they run away. I'm Lou Goose. Follow for more news.
And that shows you what's going on, right? You're gonna have a lot of Pizzagate kind of stuff. You guys know who that is, where all these right wingers say, "Oh, it's just group people, and you got to go attack them or whatever." And you got wackos in USA, and a lot of wackos have guns. So it's a very serious situation. That's why I asked you guys, how would you feel if a bunch of strangers show up at your house with cameras and be like, "Let me in and see the children"? How would you feel? How would you respond? This is more of this. This is this Nick Sorter dude. He does this kind of stunts. He did it in Portland before. Have a watch. So I guess he's in Minnesota now.
What's up? I'm just here to wish everybody a happy new year from the Quality Leering Center here tonight. You want to say anything to everybody?
You're trespassing, sir.
Huh?
You have no
You're trespassing in my country.
Live, sir. Live, please.
Live. What do you mean live? I'm living well.
Go to the house.
Yeah. I'm on the sidewalk. What are you talking about?
You're on our parking.
Okay. What time do you close?
None of your business.
None of my business? Okay. All right. Well, happy New Year anyway.
You too. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Probably won't be a great one for you, though, I'll be honest with you.
First name is Day, I-D-R-A-H-I-M. Last name Ali,
And so then Nick basically is harassing people, and then he films them calling the police on him. And that's the USA right now. That's how these people spend their Christmas Eve. This is just, or New Year's Eve. I mean, isn't this just whacked out? You also have this, political rights. This effing idiot is coincidentally running for governor, is the person who gave MAGA Nick Shirley the info on which the daycares would be closed. The whole thing was an OP at Governor Tim Walz, needs to investigate if she paid him. This is likely a campaign violation. So that I don't know. I don't know if there's any money changing hands for the Nick Shirley dude, but certainly if this Lisa DeMuth is, giving something of value, however you want to call it, to Nick Shirley and also running for governor and then attacking Walz, you guys can make the connection on this stuff. It's not that hard to figure out. But this is where we're at. And then you have this Osmogold person. He's a popular person on Twitch and YouTube.
If J.D. Vance does not push for treason with capital punishment against Tim Walz, do not vote for him. If Trump does not deliver that, do not vote for him. Unless the most extreme, dramatic, brutal, aggressive option is on the table, I'm staying home. I'm staying home, bro. I'm done. It'll never happen. That's fine. Then I guess he's not gonna win. He's not gonna get my vote. I'll tell you that. Yeah, you're not gonna get my vote. It's not happen. Yeah, I sleep.
So this is where we're at in Donald Trump's and Musk's USA. Basically, they all tweet out crazy crap, get it retweeted by bots, promote it with the algorithm that Musk controls, and then now we're all talking about it, right? And then people start showing up at other people's houses, and you can see what's going on. So I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this stuff. Please be careful out there, and I'll catch you all in the next video.